everyone, me and my other 4 teammates from Institut Teknologi Bandung will explain our comments on the assessment of Cleantech options to mitigate the environmental impact of South African dairy farming. As we know, South Africa is focused on the livestock, which is one of the fastest growing of their economy. It is explained about the agriculture and also milk production. This paper describes about 4 clean technologies in order to reduce the environmental impact in their farming operation. The first one is about the genetic selection, use of feed additive, solar power, and the last one is about the frequency converters for electricity demands. And these are the methods that they use in the life cycle assessment. For the data collection, there are 2 corporations that's involved, which is GWK Agri and also Grain South Africa. For Grain South Africa, they are collecting the data from 3 other places in order to obtain the manufacturing data. The second one is about the modeling method. The first one is about the production methods. And the second one is the maize varieties, which we can see that they are focused on the genetic modified gene.
Based on the life cycle assessment, this is the solution that comes up from them. First one is the genetic solution. It's the comparison of the Ayrshire cows and the Holstein cows. And the second one is the reduction of enteric emissions with feed additives. And the third is the producing maize feed with 2 types of Cleantech for irrigation. There are 2 types that they use. First one is solar power, and the second one is the variable frequency drive. And the impact categories that they have sort, there are 5 impacts. First one, the climate change. Second is the non-renewable energy. Third, freshwater and marine eutrophication. Number 4, ecotoxicity, and number 5 is land use. For each of the impacts, they're being used different methods.
So next we're going to talk about the life cycle inventory and life cycle impact assessment, which is the methods and assessments used to analyze the dairy farming in South Africa. The first method is by comparing the different breeds in South Africa. In South Africa, there are actually 4 major groups of cow breeds, but in this paper they only use 2 breeds, which are the Ayrshire and Holstein breeds. In this paper they analyzed by using 5 farms, but only 3 of the farms contain only Holstein breeds and 2 of them have mixed breeds. Another input is that they input the quantity of food modeled in terms of the kilogram input. From this analysis and the processes, the output is the raw milk and emissions, which will be analyzed. From the analysis of the different cow breeds, it turns out that the Holstein breeds caused less carbon dioxide greenhouse gas emissions. However, the greenhouse gas emissions or carbon dioxide emissions is inconclusive in terms of the method because it depends more on the farms rather than the breeds themselves. Also, if you compare the different 4 other impact categories, the Holstein breeds also still has lower environmental impact.
Seconds. So for me, addressing enteric fermentation, basically a digestive process of breaking down carbohydrates in an animal's body. Enteric fermentation is responsible for 20% of the worldwide greenhouse gases emission from agriculture, forestry, and other land use from 2000 to 2010. One research found that feed supplements can be used to reduce the methane emission from enteric fermentation. And this supplement is known as 3-NOP, 3-nitrooxypropanol. The effect of 3-NOP was analyzed during a 12-week experiment in Pennsylvania, USA, where 48 Holstein cows were fed 60 to 80 milligrams of 3-NOP per kilogram dry feed. And the methane emissions were measured 5 times during that period. And it was observed that an average of reduction of 30% in methane emissions was obtained. Now, to estimate the effect of methane inhibitor 3-NOP environmental impact on South African milk, the 3-NOP supplementation was modeled for 1 farm with Holstein cows, which is farm 5. And the results show that the addition of 3-NOP led to an 18% reduction in the life cycle greenhouse gas emissions of milk, with only very small changes in the other impact categories, as seen in this figure. However, the addition of 3-NOP was found to cause negative effects on the cow's health. In our opinion, this method is controversial because as we improve greenhouse gas emissions, we also reduce the cow's health.
Nggak, tadi karena gue ngulang like greenhouse gas. Another method utilized to reduce the effects of dairy farming in South Africa is by changing the animal feed production method. Here we can see that animal feed production contributes 15 to 24% of greenhouse gases, and it's one of the main contributing factors. As you can see here, the different causes are due to the pumps and motors in the irrigation system, which is used for producing the feed. As we can see here, using the wrong type of pump can cause higher usage of electricity, which also contribute to a higher emission of greenhouse gases because the electricity that needs to be produced will be more. Thus, if we use the right pump, such as a centrifugal pump, they have researched that they can reduce the 30% electricity consumption, which can also contribute to the reduction of greenhouse gases. In addition, we can see that they have also researched different alternative methods for powering the feed production, which is through using a solar power plant. By using a solar power plant, they can completely exchange or replace the use of the conventional fossil fuel power plants, and it can supply and support the feed production. Another conclusion they can get from the research is that by replacing the grid electricity, they can reduce green GWP emissions by 34%, and thus contributing less to the global warming potential as well.
Just say thank you, Papa.
So,
It started.
that's all our comments for this task. Thank you. It's a wrap!